How's everyone doing today? Now I've got a recipe for you guys today that I haven't actually tried for a long time actually. It's a recipe for potato rostis or potato pancakes, whatever you really want to call them. They're very similar to hash browns, but potato rostis, we've got grated potato. They're very easy to make, dead simple. They might take a little bit of time to actually cook, but I can assure you the simple flavors are really worth it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It can go perfectly as a side to any meal, or even a breakfast like the Swedes used to. So here you go, and I hope you enjoy it.
Excuse the weird sounding voice, I've got a bit of a blocked nose. We're going to start with around 8 to 9 small potatoes. 4 or 5 larger potatoes could do it, but if they're a bit larger, just make sure you cut them into quarters and skin on, and we're going to chuck them into some boiling water that's been salted, and we're going to essentially blanch our potatoes a little bit for about 5 minutes. Don't do it any longer than 10 minutes, otherwise you'll find that our potato will be hard to grate later on. So skin on, whack them in there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes. Put them into a colander and drain them, and make sure they go either in the fridge, or you can let them cool to room temperature. It's very important that they're cool, they're not warm, otherwise you'll have no success in grating them later. Once our potatoes are cool, you can peel them. You will find it a lot easier to peel them now, but in saying that, you can have peeled them earlier and boiled them. It saves a step, but it's really up to you the way you do it. We're just going to end up with some peeled potatoes that we're going to grate. So grab our grater out, and all we're just going to do is grate it on its largest, coarsest setting, and just do that and put all our grated potato into a bowl. Don't worry if it starts changing colour, it's just the potato oxidizing. So don't worry about if it does change colour, it's going to change colour back when we cook it. It's going to have no lasting effects. Right, here's our prepared bowl of grated potatoes. Now all we're going to do is obviously season it with salt and pepper, so make sure you stick on a generous amount. You don't want a potato to be undersalted. And it's the same thing with your rosti. Following this, we can stick in a herb of choice. Now rosemary and potatoes go absolutely wonderfully together. Just make sure you chop your rosemary up fairly fine. You don't want large chunks of rosemary. It'll certainly put a zing in your mouth if you do eat one, so make sure it's nice and fine. You don't have to put the rosemary in. You can be very bare basic and just have salt, pepper, and we'll get on to our next step, which involves 3 tablespoons of melted butter. This will pull everything together, and this is all the added liquids that we need to stick in. You'll find that because the potato's been cooked a little bit, it's going to have a stickiness to it, which is perfect, so we can form our patties, our rostis rather. So with the addition of butter, we're just going to mix everything in together so it's beautifully incorporated, and the next step is to cook it. So what we're going to do is grab our pan or our skillet, and we're just going to put it on a medium to high heat. Make sure it's hot, and we're just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil across the base of our pan, just enough so it covers it. What you're after in a rosti is a very nice crunch on the outside, but you want a deliciously soft centre. So we need that crunch on the outside to form, so that's why we need our pan to be hot. Now the size of our rosti, it's up to you. I've chosen to do sort of snack sizes. You can layer these up, say 2 or 3 on a plate for a dinner or a breakfast. You can obviously make a larger one, the size of a pan if you want, and then chop it into like you would a pizza. It's entirely up to you on how big you want to make your rosti. I've chosen to make mine about 3 inches wide. So I'm just going to grab a handful of our mixture, just put it straight into the pan, and then get either your hand, your fingers, or a spoon, and just press it down into a nice circular shape. And you'll hear it sizzling away, and all we're just going to do is cook it on that side for around 6 to 10 minutes. It'll depend on your heat on your stovetop. You can always check it, flip it over. If it's nice and brown, then that side's done. Do the same to the other side, same cook time, so around 6 to 10 minutes each rosti. Bake them out, and if they're a little bit oily, drain them on a paper towel, let them rest on a paper towel, and then serve them up. These are absolutely spectacular, trust me. They might need a little bit more salt, so a grind of salt and pepper, and you're away laughing. So there you have it, and just remember, like always, check out my other recipes, and also if there's any other recipes that you would like me to demonstrate, put a message below and I'll get onto it. Cheers.